Okay, so this is Todd Atkins, and I'm here with Akihiro Gono and his girlfriend. What was your name again?
Yuki.
Yuki. Okay, so she's gonna kind of translate today a little bit to. So maybe for people that are listening to this who may not know you, um, maybe talk about where you first found mixed martial arts or training.
Uh, I started training in 1993 when I was a high school student. First, I was a big fan of pro wrestling, show wrestling, and we had an organization name. It's Rings. They're managed by Akira Maeda, one of the most famous pro wrestler here in Japan. And in 1993, Rings started to you know, kind of school for making a professional wrestler, professional fighters. So I joined there, and that is the start of my training career.
So you were already doing like all the different arts together at that time?
Yeah, sure, exactly. Striking, wrestling, and ground all together. I studied all together.
So I think like the Japanese fighters were already well rounded or good at everything before the
Mm-hmm.
other foreign fighters were.
Yeah, I think so. And I was a big fan of those, you know, how can I say that? It looks mixed martial arts, but actually show wrestling. I was a big fan of that show, and I really want to be a. First, all I ever wanted to be was a professional baseball player. Since when I was a kid, and I dreamed to be a billionaire as a professional baseball player. But uh, I realized that it's very difficult for me, and then I found next dream, you know, mixed martial artist, and I started to training in 1993. And my first fight was April in 1994 when I was 19 years old. Just a couple of weeks later, since I graduated my high school.
Now I first saw you in Shooto. Like when did
I
they
shoot.
when did they start recruiting you or when did they ask you to start competing in Shooto?
I started to fight in shoot organization in 1996. So first, when I fought for amateur tournament, like do you know that tournament of J or uh, any other some other amateur MMA tournament? The producer of Shooto gave me an opportunity to fight in shoot organization. Yeah, and against Todd Bjornsson. Special. It's special. How can I say that?
Exhibition?
No, it's a fight.
Oh,
It's a real
special
fight.
match.
Special match. No, special match. But you know, at the time, most of the young fighters started to fight in 3 round match, three minute round. But they gave me an opportunity to fight five 3 minutes round. It's how can I say that? 特別なデビュー戦を it's kind of special debut match, much better than other young fighters to fight against foreign fighter in five 3 minutes round. It was really special.
So like you're a higher class, like maybe.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
it. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And so, I think Shooto, for people like me, and when I lived in Hawaii, a lot of guys were watching Shooto matches.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Shooto was very important for the sport of mixed
Mm-hmm.
martial. Like, what did you think about your experience fighting in Shooto? Because you were in it for a long time.
Mm-hmm. It was a really good experience for me, but I was, like I said, I was not good enough to make good money in Shooto. They at the time they had Umina Sato, Mahar Sakurai, and Kaoru Uno. They they didn't need have a other job, second job, but I had to. So that it was a really good experience. But I I thought I needed to be how can I say that full-time fighter to be better to fight against tougher fighter, foreign fighters, so that I made up my mind to move to Pancrase in 2001.
And, so Pancrase was paying you enough to where you could do full
Yeah,
time.
exactly. When I moved to Pancrase and they gave me good money, at the time I recognized myself as a professional fighter with no second job.
And who were you mostly training with when you were doing like Shooto and Pancrase? Like, what gyms were you training?
It's a Gurabaka with a Sanai Kikta. We are still good friends, and he has his own gym now, and I'm gonna go to his gym to train with him again soon.
And what's it like training with him? Because he's like one of the strongest grapplers, right?
Exactly, exactly. He won the ADCC title in 2001. Yeah, he was a really great grappler, world-class grappler.
But what do you think? What was he really good at, you think?
First, he's really physically strong. He said that when he was 12 years old, he already, reached up 120 kilograms on bench press. Can you believe that? 12 years old. He's very physically strong, and he is judo background. He was a national champion in high school judo tournament. So he has a strong physical and also great experience of judo.
But he was good at jujitsu too.
Thank you, but actually I don't think so. Actually I'm not so good at grappling, wrestling and jiu-jitsu because I had only 3 abdominals in my ab because of the surgery that I underwent when I was a baby. Uh, Only 3 packs in my ab is really huge disadvantage for, especially for grappling. So that I'm not good at wrestling and run jiu-jitsu. But how do I say that? When I when I was doing drilling, jiu-jitsu drilling a lot, as much as I want, I was a very good grappler. Like I finished Mahasakurai by Amber because I did a lot of drillings. So most important training for jiu-jitsu is drilling, in my opinion, from my experiences.
let's kind of talk about when you went to Pride. You know, Pride kind of had this maybe a big aura, right? So when they come to you, like, did what did you think about that? Like, because of its image, what did you think about going to Pride?
Oh, yeah, I can be one of the most famous fighters here in Japan. Yeah, I didn't make it, but it changed much better than before when I fought for Shooto and Pancrase. Because one day when I fought with Hector Lombard, he got a Musashi in Pride Fighting Championship and won the fight. And after that fight, I went to a how can I say that in English? Club.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Club, yeah, that's fine.
Club.
Yeah,
Yeah, hostesses knew my name. Oh, I watched your fight on the TV,
yeah.
so that it was really good time.
But it kind of had a, kind of a Pride had kind of a bad reputation sometimes, yeah.
Hmm.
And
And
after it stopped, why do you think it never like Japanese fighting never came back as big again?
it's a long story, and probably there are some reasons that I don't know. You know,
But
the
I mean,
reason
why don't the people watch? Why aren't more people coming again? You know?
I'm not sure, but probably it needed to be on TV on prime time, but it's not yet. So that it's the primary reason that it's not be back like before.
Hmm. So even though people know that they know this sport already, but because it's not on TV, they're not going to come back as much.
Hmm. That's right. That's right. Yet here in Japan, TV is the most important thing to be popular and famous, more than internet.
So, while you're competing in Pride, maybe tell me about some of the fights that you remember the most.
Uh, the most one, the best one, it's actually the fight against Dan Henderson. It's very important for me, and his punch, H bomb was
Yeah.
the hardest one that I've ever eaten. I got I got hit his H bomb on my in my jaw, and my jaw was broken, and I ended up with serious one of the toughest surgery that I had. Actually, I already had about 15 surgery
Wow.
because of injuries that I got from fights and trainings. But that one, that because of H bomb, was the toughest one.
Hmm. How long did you take to recover?
About 6 months. I got that injury in September 2005, and my next fight was April 2006. So it took about 6 months.
Hmm. So when Pride ended, I want to ask you, like, did the other Japanese fighters think, okay, what are we going to do now? I mean, this is the biggest one.
Mhm.
Is that what everyone was thinking when it stopped?
終わっちゃった時にもう大きいのがないからこの後どうやって戦っ っていこうとか、どこでやっていこうって他の
Mm.
競技者たちは思ってた。
So, yeah, it was really difficult time, but fortunately, in my case, I received an offer from USC. So it's lucky for me that I have an opportunity to fight in the USC after we lost Clyde. But I don't know about any of the fighters. It's very tough and a serious situation for all of Japanese fighters.
Now you go to UFC, so that you're competing in this US organization. What did you think about? Because I know I saw you fight in Super Brawl too.
Super Bowl was one of the worst one.
Hawaii is very different. So what did you think about going to Vegas and you having to deal with the UFC kind of thing?
Actually, I felt at the time Pride is better than USC, so that I was so sad, but I had no choice. So that I'm gonna fight in the UFC. I fought in the UFC, but the first fight in the UFC, I won the submission of the night. In about $50,000. And then I changed that. Oh, UFC is better than Pride.
Yeah, but when you get the 50,000, how much do you get to keep? Yeah, they take tax, right?
Tax was probably 30%. Maybe so that I got how much? That? About $80,000. With fight money, win bonus, and a submission tonight. But it was really huge money for me.
Yeah, I mean, even all at once, yeah, it's good money to make all at one time.
Yeah, it was a really good time. And I thought I would keep fighting in the UFC as long as I can, so that in order to make it happen, I need to be kind of a star in the UFC. So that I started to go to English conversation school. English is very important to keep fighting in the US. It was a very great experience, not for as a fighter, also as a person.
So maybe tell me what you thought of fighting in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii a long time too. So what was that experience like fighting in Super Brawl with TJ? And I know you said the fight wasn't so good, but what was the experience of fighting in Hawaii? I know Japanese people love Hawaii too, so yeah.
You're fighting, that fight was, as I told you, one of the worst fight in my career, because at the time I still didn't know what style is the best for me. It was at the time I didn't start to learn boxing. My striking was much worse than now, so that I think it was easy for my opponent, Rance Gibson.
Yeah. He was a very big guy, Yeah.
Big guy and has a very strong punches. And it was a very tough fight. Do you know what he's doing now, Rance Gibson?
I don't know. I haven't. He may still be like training some, but he's not fighting.
He's from probably he's training with Mark Hume, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have good fighters. I have experience to fight with. In my debut fight in Shooto, Todd Bjornsson, he's also fighter from Matt Hume, AMC Pancrase,
Hmm.
and Rance Gibson. They are very strong, and I lost those two fights.
So, after you finished fighting in Pride, what did you, where did, in the UFC, like, well, let's say when you finished fighting in the UFC, what did
Mhm.
you do after that?
After that, I fought in Sengoku. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Sengoku.
Yeah.
And they give me a good bit of money than Dream. At the time, we have two big organizations here in Japan, Dream and Sengoku. And after I finished in the USC, they both wanted me to fight their organization. But Sengoku gave me a bit of money so that I chose Sengoku, and it was also a good time for me. Sengoku time is good time because one of the best ring girls that I've ever seen in organizations that I fought for.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Hawaii had good ones too, yeah.
uh, uh, One of the best ring girl in my whole career is now one of the most famous actors here in Japan.
Hmm.
So that it was a good time for me, fighting on the same ring that with her. Oh, does it make sense? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, when you stopped fighting, were you still training or were you training other fighters or anything like that when you stopped competing?
My last fight, it's November last year in China for kickboxing fight. But I haven't fought for more than a year. But I think I'm gonna keep training until I die. And also, I want to fight if I have an opportunity. Actually, I announced retirement once before. Do you know that? After I fought against Mike Chandler in Bellator in 2012, 8 years ago. But I came back and still I'm fighting. I talked with my friend Kikuta about our retirement, and he said he also gonna keep training until he dies, and he wanna fight if he has an opportunity to fight, and I totally agree. I totally agreed with him, so that we're gonna keep training until we die, and we'll fight when we have an opportunity.
So it's kind of different mindset for a Japanese fighter versus American fighter. A lot of them stop fighting. A lot of them stop when they're young now, it
Uh-huh.
seems.
Uh-huh.
But you want to just keep going, right?
Yeah. If I have an opportunity, I'm gonna. I really want to fight, even though I'll be 50 years old, 55 years old. So that's what I'm thinking about training and fighting.
Yuki, you want to see him fight again?
Whenever I see him fight, I get so nervous. It's difficult, but because he may be injured or,
Mm.
you know, whenever a fighter does fight, they have the worst case would be death, right? So I am so, how can I say? It's not just like you'll have fun, just go. It's just letting the most important person to like journey.
How many of his fights did you see before?
um
1、2、3試合、4試合ぐらい。
before I started dating with him, I had no chance to see him fight, but after we met,
For the first time. Actually, we met each other for the first time in our high school
Mm.
back in 1991, 1992.
Mhm.
And after, and we met again for the first time after we graduated of high school in 2 years ago
Wow.
when I fought in China. She came to China to watch my fight, and at the time we met each other for the first time in more than 25 years.
Since graduation, yeah.
And we went together. We are going together, and she will be my wife anytime soon.
What was it like going to China? You know, because like most people don't know a lot about China. You know, I talked to Andy Wang. I know you fought Andy Wang. Yeah.
Anyone. Huh?
Yeah. I talked to him before the coronavirus. He was living in China.
Mhm.
Yeah. He lives in
He lives in
Shanghai.
China.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Shanghai. And I talked to him in February
All right.
before the virus. So
Mhm.
he was telling me already what was happening in China, you know,
Mhm.
and he was saying, okay, maybe this is going to happen in the US, like kind of telling me already.
Mhm.
So it was pretty interesting. But yeah, what was it like fighting there, like in China?
中国行って戦ったのどんな感じだった？
Actually, I already had how many fights? Actually,
At least 60 something fights. Yeah.
about 10 fights in China. I have experience to
Oh.
fight in China for kickboxing tournament,
Hmm.
and once in a Rebel FC. Yeah, I saw that Andy won in China 2 years ago when I fought for Rebel FC. He walked there as a probably referee, one of the judge or referee. In China, is it? なんだろ
客とかは？
う。There were like martial arts, and most of fans have a big respect for fighters, just like as Japanese fans. So that I had no bad image for in Chinese and also China.
So you think it's similar to Japan as far as like the fans and their appreciation?
That's what that I want to say. Exactly.
Have you ever thought about like fighting in one championship? Kind of tries to be like Pride a little bit, don't you think? And has a lot of fights in Asia, the one championship.
I think I've never thought about fighting in one championship because I know now I'm not good enough for fighting in one championship. What I want to do and I'm going to do is fighting in Brazil once again. And I really want to fight and win the fight in Brazil in front of Andressa, my coach Andre Benke's daughter.
Yeah.
I really want to do it once again till I retire. Before I retire permanently.
And when you retire, you're going to train your own fighters, you think, or?
Actually, I'm not interested in becoming a coach. I can say that. All I'm interested in is training myself, not any other guys. So that after I retire, I'm gonna work harder to make money, and I'm gonna move to Brazil. Before that, I'm gonna go to a the school to be a sushi chef. It's easy to have visa. Sushi is very popular all over the world, and easy to have a visa if you have a license of a sushi chef. So that I'm gonna go to school to be a sushi chef and move to Brazil and live there as a sushi chef, or open the gym with my coach Andre Benke. That's
Yeah,
what
he said he may go to San Francisco. That's what he told me.
I know that he has. I don't know. He's, how can I say that? He's very good, talker. He talks very well. He's very good.
He's well selling himself.
Well selling himself, so that I see a lot of good, opportunities for him to be a coach all over the world, Germany, Poland, in the United States, and Brazil, all over the world. So that I know he has and he will have a lot of opportunities to be a coach all over the world. But my dream is to have a gym with him in Brazil someday in the future.
Yuki, you like Brazil?
I've never been there before. I have a friend from Brazil, but to send someone to his fight is so difficult. But to send someone to whatever he dreams or he likes is so easy. I'm just happy if he's happy doing what he likes. So
she told me before that she wants me to do whatever I want to do and wherever I want to go. That what she wants me to do, and she's waiting for me here in Japan. Keep a place that in case I lost everything and I have no place to go, then I can come back here. Actually, this is we are talking in, I don't know, we're in her home in
my
Tochigi
house.
Prefecture.
Yes, this is my house.
Where is your home?
Tochigi, Japan.
Tochigi Prefecture, second next from Tokyo. It takes 2.5 hours by car.
Oh, wow.
On the highway. So I woke up early this morning and drove 2.5 hours. And I'm here with her.
So Yuki, we don't live together.
Yuki, you speak better English than I do, I think.
When he had this opportunity to speak with you, I told him he doesn't need my help because his
Yeah.
English is good enough. But
Oh, I
in
need
case,
help. I really need.
Joseph, Joseph.
ありがとう。
well,
Actually, I'm working for, Amazon as a delivery driver. So usually I always study Portuguese while I'm driving
Mm.
because I want to live there in the future. But since, I'm going to be here to your show, I try to study English while I'm driving as a delivery driver.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people don't want to stay in Japan. Like I know Miyu moved to Guam. She stayed in Guam rather than go back to Japan. Miyu Yamamoto.
Mamoto Miyu.
Miyu Yamamoto.
She moved to Guam. She stayed in Guam. But is it just the opportunity's not so good in Japan, or you just want to live somewhere else?
日本が条件があんまり良くないから海外に行こうと思ってる人たちが多いのかなって思ったことも。
I want to move to Brazil because I love to live in Brazil. I have an experience to live there for about 12 months total. It was really great experiences to live in South Brazil 6 years ago. It was really great experience for me, and so that I want to move to Brazil in the future, South Brazil. Just I love to live there. No, I have some purpose here in Japan.
Yeah, and you can train a lot there too, huh? And just kind of hang out in the beach.
Actually, South Brazil is not good for beach.
Mhm.
It's really cold. It's like the weather there is like in Tokyo.
Mhm.
Winter is very cold,
Mhm.
and they have no beaches. So if I want to go to beach, I'm gonna live there. Live in Espírito Santo.
Mhm.
That place we train. I train with Eric Silva. But I love South Brazil, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you like the cold better?
Better. And なんだろう、何が良かったんだろうな、俺、ブラジルの。
He's thinking what he liked about Brazil.
Maybe he doesn't want to say.
内緒のことがある。
Okay, well, as we're kind of I'm kind of winding down the interview, I always like to let people kind of say maybe something that they would want the people listening to this that's important to them, maybe something important to you that we haven't talked about.
リスナーが聞きたいと思ってることで、あなたにとっても大事と思われることを、話したい。
なんだろうな。I think it's just in my opinion, but I think life is only once. Life is only once in a race. Life is too short, so that I believe the best way to live is just follow your demand. You don't need to care about how other people think, you know, about any other people. Just follow your own demand. That's the most important thing for our life. Yeah, that's what I've done, and I'm gonna keep doing.
What about you, Yuki? What do you think? What do you think is important
For
to
life
you? For
generally?
you? No, in your life.
Me.
Yeah. You.
It's probably what I said already, but
No, for your own experience. Not
for my own
yeah, just
experience.
yeah. Maybe
Um,
like something that you think.
uh,
Yeah.
as Akihiro told you that it's important to follow your demand, I think that's about what I'm doing too. Um, um, I never expected that I'll be asked a question, but because what I'm doing is because I like it. So the reason I'm with Akihiro is because I like him, and I never thought about myself. Yeah.
You like his the big wig?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I've seen that in video, but
Yeah, the big hair.
do you still have it? Do you still have it somewhere? No.
Kind of like Mamoru, remember? Mamoru had the big.
Yeah, that's his own hair. It's
Yeah,
natural.
yeah.
But my one is a fake one.
Yeah.
I almost lost my own hair so that I needed the fake one.
Why did you use that one?
Just, how can I say that? You know, that weekend also about my ring entrance, working entrance. The first, one of, back in Pride days in 2006, one of Pride executive told us that, welterweight is not so popular than lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. Lightweight has Takanori Gomi. In the middleweight, Sakuraba. Heavyweight, Fero and Nogueira. But welterweight, no famous popular fighters, so not popular for fans. So that before our welterweight tournament, he told us that, yeah, I mean, you guys fight hard to make your welterweight popular, more popular. But I knew myself as a not special fighter. Don't have special weapons like hard punch like Gomi and beautiful ground technique like Sakuraba. But I have to something to entertain fans for my welterweight division, and I started to walking entrance. It's just it was about a week or 2 weeks before the first fight of a welterweight tournament. I watched one of my friend, DJ Ozma, did a funny performance on TV, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this copy for my working entrance, and it's gonna be good for fans. And then I started to that performance, and it worked as I thought, as I expected. So that thank you though that ring entrance performance. It works in Brazil and also in United States. So that helped me a lot.
Is it hard to like, you said like now that you're working delivering and for Amazon, after fighting in Pride and all this stuff, it's hard to be as exciting, yeah?
Mhm.
ずっとすごいところにいたのに、今は体になってて。
Yes, sometimes the first I felt very like I'm very miserable before I fought in the biggest MMA organization in the world, make very good money. But I lost everything and working for Amazon as just a delivery driver. But soon I realized that, this can be a very great training for me. I always deliver about 150 packages a day. That means, first, it took a very long, before I get used to it, so that I finished the last one about 10:30 p.m. So I always apologize to customers that I'm sorry it's too late, but it's your package. So that to prevent that situation, I started to run as fast as possible from the first package of the day. Then it's a very good training for me as a fighter. And also good diet. So that now, and also delivery driver is good money, better than most of jobs, I think. So that now it's a really good job for me. It can be a good training, making good money. So that now I don't think it's miserable. It's very fun every day.
So it's easy not to think about the life you had.
今までの人生を思うと。What was the question again?
So, it's easy now for him. It's easy not to think about when he was fighting in the big organizations and things like that.
分かった?
Of course, the days, Pride days, USC days, much better than now. But I still have hope in my mind. Probably I may be able to fight once again, and next time in 145. Because of my current job is very good training, also very good diet. I always have that hope in my mind, and so that it's not so miserable now.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time to talk to me, and if there anything else you might want to say to people listening, or maybe if they wanted to follow you or something?
All I'm gonna say now is sorry for bothering you guys with my English problems. I still have a huge problem with English.
No. You did real good, man.
Thank you so much. But I don't think so. And I'm gonna keep.
Because I asked other people in Japan, and they told me no, I don't want to do it. I asked some other people, and they said no, I'm nervous.
Oh, thank you. But I did it because of my girlfriend next to me here. And yeah, I'm going to keep studying English and also Portuguese for my future.
I think you did fine. She helped, but you're good already.
Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you did it easy. Yeah, it wasn't that hard
It was very hard for me, actually.
for you, but what I'm saying, you understood everything I said most, right?
Probably 80%. 80%.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you so much.
And Yuki, where did you learn English, Yuki?
I went to Wisconsin as a high school student and stayed there for 1 year. That's about all experience I had abroad. And since I came back, I studied myself, or I'm working and still, studying.
Yeah, both of you are doing really good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you both for doing this. I know, Yuki, it's hard to do translating. My friend Ryan Bo, he used to always complain to me. Ryan Bo?
Uh-huh.
We hung out a lot in Japan. And he's always like, I don't want to translate for you, He never liked to do it, because it's hard.
It's hard, yes.
Yeah, so I know it's hard to do it, so thank you very much. And it was great meeting both of you. And, I'll send you this interview and everything.
インタビューが整ったら情報送りますねって。
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。Thank you.
ありがとうございます。